Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Screening Room podcast. This is your host, Mike, joined by my co host, Evan.
What's up, everyone?
And today we're going to be discussing the 2008 movie Tropic Thunder. First, we're going to be going over our initial thoughts of the movie, then going into a light trivia section, and then giving our final review on the film.
Yeah, so I'm gonna be honest. I don't. This was Mike's idea. I don't remember what. Was there a reason that we chose this movie? Like, or was it just on a
I
whim?
I think I thought of the idea when we did our Missing in Action movie because one
Right.
of the movies that was parodied in this is Missing in Action. Although the one that I mainly think of whenever like it gets brought up as a parody is Platoon, the William Dafoe movie.
Yeah.
But I originally had the idea while I was watching Missing in Action.
Yeah. So this movie, if you haven't seen it, I would highly recommend watching it. It's a comedy about Ben Stiller, Jack Black, Robert Downey Jr. They all have to make a like if you saw our Missing in Action review movie, basically a movie they have to make a movie like that called Tropic Thunder.
Yeah,
And it's supposed to be this like overly like what's the word I'm looking for?
it's like a dramatic Vietnam War movie, something like Apocalypse Now, or like
yeah.
I mentioned before, like Platoon, something like that, or like Rambo. That
Yeah.
kind of a style of movie.
Yeah. And it has a very star-studded cast. It's got Ben Stiller, who stars and directs it, Jack Black, Robert Downey Jr., Tom Cruise, in
Yep,
a one of his most underrated roles. Matthew McConaughey's in it for a little
absolutely.
bit there. Am I forgetting anyone? I think that's.
Bill Hader's in this movie as well.
Oh, that's
Brandon T.
right.
Jackson's in this too. Yeah, there's a lot of the cast in this is phenomenal.
Yeah, no, and I mean, I know Ben Stiller. He's more known for his acting, but I mean, I think he did pretty good. I think he did a good job
Pretty good
directing
with
this one.
directing for this, yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely.
especially when you're also starring in it. I mean, that's a hard task. So, props to Ben
Oh,
Stiller.
absolutely.
But yeah, no. So this will be just like all of our other episodes. We'll talk a little bit about the movie, get into some trivia, and then get into our final thoughts. So do you want to kick it off with your initial thoughts on the film?
Yeah, absolutely. I really enjoyed watching this movie. I think the what really sells it as a comedy is how over the top it is, whether it's through just acting or through like the cinematography of the film or the pacing of it. The whole film as itself, as we mentioned, it's meant to be a comedy, but it also is also a like not just parodying the Vietnam movies as well, but it's also parodying a lot of tropes that was found in a lot of Hollywood movies. Some older tropes, some newer tropes. But it was a film that really brought those to light, but it also did it in like a creative way that really made you like think about it. If that makes sense, while
Yeah.
adding it to like this with like a flair of humor into it.
Yeah, no. I think they did a great job kind of addressing different tropes. I think the opening of the movie where they play like different trailers for like the different fake actors in the movie. I thought that was like a really good almost a parody in and of itself. And I remember actually when I watched this for the first time last year, after you recommended it to me, I thought I like somehow misclicked the wrong thing because it just
Yeah, the
opens to
same thing
like
happened to me too. Yeah.
it just opens with these like random like trailers that look real. I'm like, well, what am I
With real
watching?
actors too. Like Toby Maguire was in one. Like they
Yeah,
go all out.
yeah. But no, I like how especially, I mean, you have to remember this movie came out in 2008, and I like how it kind of parodied a lot of stuff that you would see around that. I mean, they even had like the studios, like they had like New Line Cinemas, I think, for one of them. But like you
Yeah.
have Robert Downey Jr. Does like the what was it, like the religious movie or something like that? It was like a
Yes. Yep. Yeah. That one.
like the
Yeah.
overly, I don't want to say overly, but like the like the most serious of the bunch. Then you had Ben Stiller who
Yeah.
was doing like his like what was it, like the millionth
Oh,
sequel to his like kind of
yes. The oh my God, what's it called? It's Scorched Thunder. That's what it's called. Yeah, and I thought that like the one it really made fun of the most was like the Mad Max or like the Fast and Furious movies. Those are the ones I instantly thought of right off rip.
Yeah.
At least for the Ben Stiller one, and then for the Jack Black movies, the Jeff Portnoy movie. I thought the first thing that came to mind when I thought of that was probably like the Medea movies in the sense that like Jack Black is playing multiple characters in it. So I thought they were making fun of that, which was like a growing trope at the time where actors are starting to do more dual roles.
Yeah. No, that one I could see that. That one didn't really like hit with I kind of more thought of it as like just some of those like straight to DVD like early
Oh
2000s
yeah,
like comedies.
absolutely.
Uh,
Yeah. Oh yeah.
that's kind
Like the
of
slapstick comedies.
yeah. Like honestly, I didn't even catch that Jack Black was playing multiple people in that. I was just
Yeah,
so
he was everyone in there.
oh he
He was
was.
everyone except for like the waiter. Yeah.
I was gonna say the only one I got was like the version where he had the blonde like bowl cut. I was like, oh well, that's obviously
Yeah.
Jack Black. Um, no, that actually didn't click with me, so that's cool. I just kind of thought it was supposed to be a spoof on like straight to DVD movies. Um, but no, that was good. Did you have any other thoughts you wanted to say before I kind of dive into my initial thoughts, or?
No, that was about it. But like I said, this is a definitely an interesting film. It's something that you wouldn't usually find out in definitely not nowadays or even back then when this movie was made. It's definitely a movie that's
A product of its
it's
time.
definitely a product of its time. Is That's a great way to put it. It's definitely a product of its time, but it acknowledges a lot of the tropes that it brings up in the film, and kind of wants to like point at it and laugh at it with the audience to bring it up like into perspective to make fun of the tropes.
Yeah. I mean, like one of the biggest ones, just to get it out of the way, obviously Robert Downey Jr., his character, he plays if you listen to our what was it, the our last one was Harry Potter, right? Yeah.
Yep.
Harry Potter. If you listen to the teaser in that audio clip where it's Robert Downey Jr. saying what's the line? Like, I'm a dude disguised I'm
I'm a
playing a
dude
dude.
playing a dude disguised as another dude.
Right. So like his whole thing is he's playing a white actor, Kirk Lazar, Kirk.
Yep.
Yeah.
Kirk
Um.
Kirk Lazarus from Australia.
Yeah. I didn't know if it was a K or a T, but yeah, he plays
It was
this.
a guy. Yeah.
Yeah, Kirk Lazarus. And he's playing a white actor who has to play a black character and has to go under like pigmentation, like alteration.
Oh yeah. Oh my God.
And obviously, like in the movie, it's supposed to be a commentary on older movies genuinely having white people play black people and like undergo like a blackface kind of thing. So it's not like they're trying to. I feel like that's a way that this could be misinterpreted. Like it's not necessarily trying to have Robert Downey Jr. like I don't know, like take the job away from someone
It's
else. He's literally
Yeah.
just making fun of these old Hollywood tropes and trying to
Old.
point out how stupid and just barbaric they were and it's supposed to just kind of like bring that to light to like a newer generation. That's at least my interpretation of that. Like I don't know.
Yeah, no, that's exactly it. I feel like the film, and again, just to clarify, yeah, like, just to build on what you were saying, the film isn't trying to promote those trends; it's trying to actively make fun of them. And I
Right.
think one of the best things for that is the inclusion of Brandon T. Jackson's character, Al Pacino, who's
Hmm.
in the actual cast is the only African American member of the movie, and the whole time he's making fun of Robert Downey Jr.'s character, which in a sense is like making fun of the trope itself. And
Right.
I feel like that kind of builds onto it, and that it's acknowledging that this is a real trope. Like this was a real like thing that people unfortunately did, but the way they're bringing it up allows for the audience to laugh at it and just see how like incredibly stupid it was
Right. Because
that
what
people
was his
used to do
name?
that.
What was that other?
Um, the character's name was Alpha Chino,
Oh,
who was
Al
he was like the
Pacino.
rapper.
I kept wanting to
Yeah,
say Al
Alpha Chino.
Pacino. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, no, that was done on purpose. Yeah, he was the rapper who joined the cast in there, and he that was kind of like a commentary on like different people like across all sorts of medium, particularly singers trying to get into acting. Like the biggest
Right.
example I could think of was like Justin Timberlake getting into acting, so that was kind of making fun of that.
Yeah. But no, like I mean, I think that's a good point though, because Al Pacino, there are a few lines, probably about like halfway through, where the whole thing is Robert Downey Jr. until the very end. His character Kirk Lazarus stays in character as this blackface character, even when they're not rolling for like the fake movie that they think they're filming, and he calls
Yeah.
him out. He's like, "Hey, you're being like really racist," and it's supposed to just kind of like again like just bring awareness to that issue, and I think that's like a really good way of doing it in a way that like a lot of people will see, I think, because like a lot of people, you have to
Yeah.
remember back in 2008, Ben Stiller was like on the top of the world with his movies. So I think this was like a
Oh
really
yeah.
wide way of spreading that message. So I think that was really well done. But I mean, besides that, I mean, like I said, I just love how it pokes at all the tropes, both in front and behind the camera. Tom
Yeah.
Cruise, Matthew McConaughey, they're also like some
Oh
of my
yeah.
favorite parts of this movie, and they're both like they have pretty minimal screen time, but the little bits that they do have, they just like eat up. I mean,
Oh my
it's
God, they steal the
great.
show.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Um, I mean, honestly, I know that there were talks over the summer of like a potential Les Grossman spin-off movie. The character that Tom Cruise plays, and
Yeah.
I really hope that comes to fruition someday, especially as he's like kind of taking a step back, it seems like, from like more action heavy movies besides like Top Gun 3,
Yeah.
which seems like is still happening, which I'm excited for, but that's besides the point. I think that would be like a really good kind of role to kind of step back in if there's like a right script, because there's so many things that you can talk about with just an asshole studio exec, which is exactly
Oh,
what
absolutely.
Tom Cruise
And
is.
there's so many things they can make fun of nowadays. Like, for example, they could make fun of all the reboot stuff going on,
They can make fun of
or like the
AI.
example of. Yep, that was another one I was going to mention. Yeah,
Yep.
like there's so many different things. It would be really hysterical to see, Tom Cruise's character try to do. And I think even at the time, like even in this movie as it is, it's hysterical just to see how like comically evil he is in this movie. And
Well,
that's a performance that I think kind of sells it.
and if they did like a newer movie or like a spin-off movie, they could have them poke fun at like modern actors, because actually I saw it wasn't in the movie, but I think it was like supposed to be promo or something, because this movie came out like while the Twilight movies were coming out. And a little
Yeah.
while ago on Instagram Reels, I saw like it must have been like a promo video. I don't know what the exact source of it was, but it was Tom Cruise playing Les Grossman, and he was talking to Robert Pattinson, and he's like, "Your greasy hair, that's like your whole identity." And Robert Pattinson, like I forget exactly how it goes. It's been a little while since I've seen it, but it was something like Robert Pattinson was like, "Oh, so what am I gonna wash my hair with?" And Tom Cruise is like, "You're gonna wash your hair with dirt." And it's like your whole greasy hair is like exact like that's your whole brand identity. So anyway, I guess what I'm saying is like it'd be fun to see him like talk to modern, like you could have him poke fun at like Timothy Chalamet and like his comments on like ballet and opera, like that could be funny, or
Exactly. Yeah.
I don't know, like just something like that. I think that would be fun. But
Yeah.
anyway, we're kind of that's kind of straying away from the movie at hand. But that's all just to say, Tom Cruise, Matthew McConaughey, they like even the smallest roles in this movie still have like some really iconic moments.
Yeah.
And I think that really helps sell it. Um, like you said,
Yeah.
it's a,
Even
oh
mhm.
no, go on.
I was just gonna say, like, even Bill Hader's role as Les Grossman's assistant, that really kind of helps sells it too. Just to see that, like, just to aid not only just to improve Tom Cruise's role on it, just to see how he treats like even just like his assistants around. But it's also a commentary on I feel like just people doing their jobs in and I guess in this case like in the film industry, um, but are just doing it just to try to make like a boss happy, or to try and go through and just do it just as a means to an end kind of a thing, like in the film, just so that way you could get that like a promotion. And I
Right.
thought that was kind of like an interesting commentary on that.
Was Bill Hader the guy at the end who like won the Oscar and like Tom Cruise was like kind of like telling him
Oh,
like a
making
monkey
fun
could
of
do
him.
his job?
Yep, that was Bill
That
Hader.
was
Yep.
him. Yeah, okay, that's what I thought. Yeah. So, yeah, no, I love yeah, I just love Tom Cruise in this movie. He's great. It's one of my favorite Tom Cruise roles. Um yeah, no, I genuinely think it's a really good one. I mean, again, like yeah, I feel like you have to
Take it
watch
with a
it
grain of salt.
knowing that well, that and like also understand that it's not trying to be offensive, it's trying to bring awareness to um older movies that
Outdated.
were offensive.
Yeah.
It's like it's trying to
Yeah.
bring it's kind of, I don't want to call it like a PSA because that's not right, but like it's trying to use Ben Stiller's at the time, like I said, he was on top of the world at the time, and not that he isn't anymore, but I think we can all agree he was just pumping out stuff like crazy in the 2000s. So he was using his big platform back then um to make like an accessible movie. Like I'd say comedy is one of the most accessible genres, right? And
Yep.
he poked fun at all these different like industry tropes, whether it was like the blackface thing, whether it's the overly dramatic war movie, or in some cases the like kind of poorly made war movie, poking fun at different stuff like behind the curtains in Hollywood. I just think as a fan of movies and also the making of movies, I think that just kind of resonates with me, which is why I like it so much.
Yeah. But yeah, and I also thought too that all the character arcs in the film too, those were definitely interesting. The big one throughout the film is obviously it's going to be Ben Stiller's Tug Speedman, who's a guy who's just trying to like bounce back after like a really bad box office bomb, and he's kind of like got lost in the art for a little while, especially towards the end, like during the rescue scene.
Yeah.
But at the very end, he realized that in order to like move to the next level, and to like get back on the horse, so to speak, he had to actually like just stay true to himself. And that's kind of a similar arc that Robert Downey Jr.'s character went through too, because like even in like the little like blurb at the very beginning where it describes all the like the cast of the film. Like it said he was like a 5-time Oscar winner. He's famous for going in depth to portray all these different characters. So much so, like in the film, like the character he's playing for that. And at the very end, I thought it was very poignant when he took off all the makeup and effects that was made to make the character for the movie, and he wanted to just be himself at the very end. It just shows how these, especially that type of a trope, can how much of a negative impact it can have on people, not just the people it's affecting, but also the actor or actress, whomever is doing that role. And it kind of brings that to light, again, just to highlight how bad of a practice that was.
Yeah, like cuz
um,
it really goes to show how method acting in general can be a bad thing, especially in Robert Downey Jr.'s case.
yeah.
Like it was just showing how his character was just straight up being offensive doing method acting. But method
Yeah.
acting, I don't know how big it was back then, but I mean, I know some actors still do it. I'm assuming it was bigger back then, but how method acting is really just a shitty practice. So it really just kind of highlights how it can A, be offensive, and B, kind of like, even just on a personal level of like the actor themselves, it like kind of strips them away from like who they
Yeah.
truly are. Um, so yeah, I think it does a good job, kind of like what's the word? The opposite of promoting, like discouraging method acting.
Yes.
Um,
Discouraging method acting, and then all the practices used, like in Robert Downey Jr.'s case in the film.
yeah. Um, yeah. So like, sorry, my throat. Yeah. Did you have any other thoughts that you wanted to say before we got into the fun fact section?
I'm all set and I'm ready for the fun facts.
All right. I'll let you kick it off. As always, Mike got the facts for us. I'm sorry, I don't know what's going on with my throat right now, but yeah, I'll let you kick it off.
Well, the first fun fact I found was Ben Stiller had revealed that all the like almost all the aspects of the Les Grossman character were almost completely developed by Tom Cruise, including the dancing, the general look of the makeup, and then the addition of the character having to wear the oversized prosthetic hands.
Oh, that's
Another
right.
fun thing I found out, yeah, that was just insane, the amount of stuff like that. Another fun thing that Ben Stiller had also mentioned was Ben Stiller originally was supposed to play Rick Peck, who was Matthew McConaughey's character. And he actually had Keanu Reeves in mind originally to play Tug Speedman before he wanted to take on the lead role as well as direct.
Do you know why he decided to play the lead instead?
I
Like
couldn't find it.
he just kind of
I
said,
couldn't
"Fine,
find
I'll
that
do
one,
it
unfortunately.
myself," I guess.
As far as I can tell, yeah. Another fact I found too was Robert Downey Jr. Originally was going to play the character he played in the film Kirk Lazarus as Irish, but he was the one who suggested that he be from Australia because it would be easier for him to improv on set from the movie he shot in '94 called Natural Born Killers, where he played an Australian in that. And then the last fun fact I found was that Jack Black's character, Jeff Portnoy, when he suggested that they rescue Ben Stiller's character, Tug Speedman, by catapulting themselves into the camp, was actually going to be the original third act. But Ben Stiller later went back and changed it and as a joke, put it into the script as like a gag.
Okay. No, that's funny. um, is that all for fun facts?
Yeah, that's all I've got.
Okay, so now we'll just segue into our final thoughts, give our review, and then our overall review. So I'll just kick it off while my voice is still sort of working. Um, like I kind of said before, I love how it pokes fun at like all these old Hollywood tropes. Again, as like a big movie nerd slash cinephile slash someone trying to get into the industry myself, so I'm aware of like all the stuff that happens in front and behind the camera. So it's just kind of fun to see those things get poked fun at, particularly with Les Grossman. Like I was saying, he's just like Les Grossman's unironically my favorite part of this movie. I just love it. And yeah, I think I wouldn't necessarily call it fun for the whole family, but I would say
Oh,
yeah.
oh
Do you know
no,
what it's
it's
rated?
definitely not.
Is it rated R?
It's R.
Yeah,
It's
okay.
rated R.
Yeah. But that being said, I think it does unironically genuinely have some good messaging in it. If you like look at it the correct way. It's kind of like a don't do what we did or don't do what these
Yeah.
characters are doing, I should say. Um,
Yeah, it's using the characters to make fun of the practices.
Exactly. So I do think that there's unironically some good messaging in there. It does have some pretty comedic beats. Again, it's Ben Stiller. He's just at the top of his game here. Um, so this might be a little bit of a hot take, especially given I typically don't go to. There are only a few comedies that I rate like a 4.5 and above, but I gave this movie a 5 out of 5. I mean, like I said, when you recommended it to me, I think it was last year, for the
Yeah.
first time, I was just blown away because I was like, oh my god, this was literally made for me. It is like poking fun at all of the like movie knowledge that I have. Like it's something where I understand every reference in it because I know so much about the industry. So like I understand that like my 5 out of 5 is very like I don't know if personal is the right word, but like it's just like a movie that resonates with me. But I totally understand why like I don't know, maybe some other people who aren't as I don't want to say informed, but like just as well versed in the world of Hollywood, like I can see why they might not like be so high on it. But yeah, personally, I'm going a 5 out of 5. But I'll pass the baton on to you.
Okay. Well, for me, I also really enjoyed this movie. I didn't give it a 5 out of 5, but I did give it like a 4.5. This is honestly a really, really fun comedy movie that I think it's a kind of a movie that you watch. Obviously, you got to be, able to go see a rated R movie to go watch it. But it's a fun movie that really kind of makes fun of all these different, like all these different old tropes that we mentioned, and it's also just hysterical as it is. Like it's just a funny movie. So I give it a 4.5. It wasn't a perfect 5 out of 5 for me. But then again, even in the context of the actual movie, the movie itself wasn't even a 5 out of 5. Like in the actual film. So I think that kind of helps sells it too. Um, but yeah, no, I really like this movie. I gave it a 4.5 out of
So
5.
yeah, no, that's fair. So we'll just round down for overall review, and we'll just give it a like an overall screening room podcast review of a 4.5 out of 5. So yeah,
Okay.
and with that said, I will throw in a little teaser for our next episode.
Pan, this is November 4, 09er 9er.
What the hell?
Thank you for joining us. Have a great night, and we will see you next week.